brothers. When we understand that the spirit that dwells within those so-called white guys is totally against his spirit. So what is he gonna do? Try to trim his ways, right? Envy them. But ultimately, what's gonna manifest is what their true spirit, and that is against him. In some way, shape, or form, he's not gonna be profitable in this place. His way is not gonna be made prosperous because he's not walking with the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of the scriptures, right? A lot of us, we want to constantly go against our nature to follow the spirit, right? Because you see someone of another nation, they might be nice, they might be kind, they might not come at us with any type of animosity or hostility. So a lot of our people will deal with them on a case-by-case basis. They don't deal with them with the understanding that they represent a nation and that all people within this nation are gonna carry this particular spirit or these characteristics, right? Furthermore, even 2/3 of our people, we have to fight against our nature to entreat them as brothers. We have to accept the fact that, hey, they are among the 2/3 unless they come back into the knowledge, wisdom, and the understanding of these scriptures and repent, right? 2/3 of our own people. So how much more the dominant society of the nations that are round about, right? You can run what you got. How you doing, brother?
This is Sirach 25:7.
Come.
There be 9 things which I have judged in my heart to be happy.
And it said there are 9 things that I've judged in my heart to be happy. Go ahead.
And the 10th I will utter with my tongue.
Go ahead.
A man that hath joy of his children.
Hey, a man that has children and your children don't come back and then they honor you. When their deeds and their thoughts and their actions, it says a man that has joy of his children. Go ahead.
And he that liveth to see the fall of his enemy.
He that liveth to what?
To see the fall of his enemy.
Hey, that's something. Get 1 Thessalonians 1:6. To be able to see the people that have afflicted you, terrorized you, castrated you, persecuted you, to see them fall, hey, that's a beautiful thing with our power, right? To see someone that has hated you without a cause, to see that person being taken out of the way, the person that have oppressed you, whooped you, enslaved you, to see that person being thrown into slavery, that's called justice. That's called balance. But a lot of our people, when it comes down to the white man, they say, hey, let bygones be bygones. But the Bible talks about blood for blood, and that's what we're gonna get on right now. You can bring what you got.
This is 2 Thessalonians 1:6. Seeing it is a righteous thing with God to recompense tribulation to them that trouble you.
Hey, bring this out one more time.
Seeing it is a righteous thing with God to recompense.
Hey, it says, seeing it is a righteous thing with God. To do what?
To recompense tribulation to them that trouble you.
What is recompense, brother? If I take your teeth from you, the only way I can recompense is if I give you your teeth back. Recompense is payback, right? Read meaning back, compense mean pay, right? Bring this out one more time.
2 Thessalonians 1:6. Seeing is a righteous thing with God to recompense tribulation to them that trouble you.
Hey, it says seeing it is a righteous thing with God to recompense tribulation to them that trouble us. So are we gonna be, do you think we should be repaid for all of the atrocities that have been committed against us? Get into number 35 and 33. Right. The Bible prescribes how we ought to be paid back. Right? The Bible says double. We're going to get into these precepts. Because the plantation church, they're going to tell you to love your enemy. No, that's to love the enemies of your nation. You know, everybody talk about black on black crime. Well, the white man don't do nothing to me. It's my people. Well, those are the enemies of your people that you're supposed to love. But the dominant society, the so-called whites, the so-called Arabs, the so-called Chinese, those are your natural enemies that you're not supposed to love. Those are the people that have hated you, that have oppressed you and your foremothers. But a lot of our people, when they see an enemy, it's somebody that looks like them. You can't pull teeth for them to look at the white man as their enemy. But we're here to let you know that the Bible doesn't speak about a white man, but rather a red man, whose name is Esau Edom. And even the Most High hates him and his people. the so-called white race. And we're going to get a prescription on how you deal with bloodshed. Because our people get terrorized all day in this place. Not only by, you know, John 8:44. Yahweh Shah was talking to niggas when he said, ye are of your father the devil. And the lust of your father you will do. But those wicked among our people, they're just doing the lust of Esau, Edom. They're just doing the lust of their father. But even that bloodshed is going to be required. Right? The Most High said a false balance is an abomination in Proverbs 11. Matter of fact, get this real quick in Galatians 6 and 7 before we jump to Numbers 35 and 33. Get this in Galatians 6 and 7. Because, hey, if you do good in the earth, that's an indicator that you're going to receive good. Right? This is why you tell your children, behave yourself, respect others. Why? Because you don't want them to be disrespected. If your child come to you and said, hey, this person over here hit me, you're going to be mad because you don't allow your child to hit people. Right? This is a hallmark of the righteous. Right? Being fair, being balanced. Right? But the same thing applies to the so-called white man. He's not going to be able to cause hurt, harm, and danger in the earth and just ride off into the sunset. That'll mean that God is not real. Why you, Brown, what you got?
This is Galatians 6 and 7. Huh. Be not deceived.
Be not deceived.
God is not mocked.
Hey.
For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he reap.
Hey, you do dirt, you're going to get dirt. Right? It said, be not deceived. Because a lot of people, they forsake the Bible, they forsake God altogether. Why? Because he's long-suffering. Because he's letting the iniquity of the wicked add up. He just don't come and bring that judgment down, right? He deals in order, in time, in seasons, right? Bring this out one more time.
Galatians 6 and 7.
Huh.
Be not deceived, God is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he reap.
Hey, he that sows iniquity shall reap the same. It says that in the scripture, right? But what has the so-called white man sowed in the earth? That's a question. Go ahead. He said hard work, ingenuity. What is the white man sown in the earth? Technology, what else? How did you get here to America? On a boat. So who was responsible for bringing you here on a boat in captivity? I'm asking you, are you sure? I got a question. What do you think should be done to the white man? Hey, we had a Exhibit A come earlier. I wish you would have been here because he'd have probably told to get up. But what do you think should be done to the so-called white man? Picnics, right? Where they get one of us and burn us and they surround it. Pick a nigger. That's the origins of picnics. As you said, we were sold in the bottom of boats to a lot of our people. Babies given to alligators, right? To catch alligators for alligator purses, alligator boots. You know, niggas love gators. They will use babies as baits. Here it is, they sold her baby off and she's breastfeeding a white baby, right? Here it is, they're lynching a young man. I need to get a new board. This is a mother and a son that were both lynched on the bridge, right? It was a book called Without Sanctuary that chronicles a lot of the lynchings that have gone on in the interiors of America. But what should be done to the so-called white man for all of this shit that he's done to us? Cat got your tongue, brother?
Nah, I'm really, you know.
You said deaf?
Yeah, I don't see, I can't understand.
You can't, because
it's oppression and it's evil to the, I don't understand evil, so
think
to the worst court.
I got a question. Do you think that his children are also responsible for partaking in the fruits of his wickedness?
If it was forced on them and they were trying their best like to be positive and they just became evil, that's different.
All right, so
if they grew up, raised up under the same way as them, nah, they evil too.
So even if they were raised up and they say, I don't want to adopt that mentality, are they evil? Because this is what I want you to understand. All of the wealth that was acquired by your forefathers and foremothers, right? It was given to the children of the master as an inheritance. all of the land. You know, the master, he died on a plantation with great wealth of natural causes in old age. So all of the wealth that he got by terrorizing, bloodshed, castrations, all of the things that he stole, like I take your drink and I give it to him. Even in that society, they would call you an accessory. You know what I'm saying? If I go to a bank and steal some money and then I give it to you, you can't say I didn't rob the bank. The nigga just gave me the money, right? They would call you an accessory. You would go to jail too, right? All of the wealth that was given to them as an inheritance, will they give it to us? Will they give us back all the land, all the houses? The children of the so-called white man that has terrorized us, will his children just say, we're not like our daddy, so we want to give all the things that he stole back to the people he stole it from? They're not going to do that, right? So this is why, bring this out in Isaiah 14 and 21. This is why the Bible prescribes a judgment for them, because they're not going to give over all of the wealth that their father stole, all the wealth that their father got through injurious acts, rape, robbery, theft. They're going to hoard it. Then not only that, they're going to get guns to protect all of their stolen shit. Just in case you think you want to come back and take what we stole from you, we got this gun to defend our theft, right? Right? Just like if you work hard and you show dedication and you show resilience and you build something and you pass that to your son, guess what? Everything you work for, you're gonna pass it to your sons. So your sons can pass it to their sons, right? So this is how you affect your generations, because your great-grandson will be here one day, but you want him to be able to have some type of advantage because you were here. I worked, even though I'll never meet my great-great-grandson, the wealth, the work, the land that I work for, he's gonna eventually obtain it and it's gonna benefit him. So now we're at the bottom because a lot of the wealth that our forefathers and our foremothers worked for is in our face, right? We see the wealth, right? Because you have to interface with the white man every day, right? Does he have wealth? Psalm 73 and 3 says he's not in trouble as most men, right? You can bring this out in Isaiah 14 and 21.
Isaiah 14 and 21.
Come.
Prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers.
Hey, it said prepare slaughter for the children, for the iniquity of their fathers. Just like right now, do you have an inheritance? Are you sitting on a lot of wealth? Are you? Why? Because did your fathers give you an inheritance? All right, so look, you're suffering because of what your father did. We are at the bottom because of what our fathers did, which was forsook the ways of the Bible. We didn't want to obey the law, statutes, and commandments, but we wanted to go a-whoring after the nations that were round about. So just like we weren't here, we're having to suffer for the sins of our fathers. The same way that the so-called white man, he's gonna have to suffer eventually. We're gonna trade places, right? And when I say we're gonna trade places, that's the Lord's elect. Those men that want to observe the Lord's ways, that want to repent, that want to refrain from the ways of this society, right? Those are the men that are going to be protected and saved out of this impending destruction. Because the majority of our people, as you know, they not right, so they're going to die in this place. Right? Bring this out one more time.
Isaiah 14 and 21.
It's a future prophecy. Go ahead.
Prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise, nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities.
Hey, it said prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers. The so-called white children, they're going to have to suffer. Get this in Revelation 13 and 9, because the Bible is a book of prophecy. It actually tells you how to resolve civil issues, not only amongst Israel, but it tells us how we are supposed to relate to the nations that are round about. It tells you how you're supposed to relate to the Arab, the white woman, the Chinese woman, right? Because the Bible tells us who we are, our true nationality, our true identity. But not only does it tell us who we are, it tells us who the nations are around about us. Because there are 18 nations that come out of Adam. And we are just one nation of people that are represented by 12 tribes, right? Where's your father from?
New Jersey.
Right, from New Jersey. So according to prophecy, you'll be a Hebrew Israelite from the tribe of Judah. This is the tribe that Jesus, Well, Jamaican, that's Benjamin. You know this brother.
So Levi, Haitian, and Judah, African.
Well, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, they're called what you call the southern tribes. Right, then you got the 10 tribes, which is Issachar, the so-called Mexicans, all the way down to the Dominicans. Right, they're the northern tribes. So these are our brothers as well, according to the Bible, according to prophecy. Right, so Judah, Benjamin, Levi, that's the West Indians, the Haitians, and also the American Negroes. Right, the more dark, well, all of the tribes go from charcoal to chalk white. So we don't judge who your brother is based upon the skin color. See what I'm saying? Just like the Hispanics. You have Hispanics that go, you know, heavily, you know, damn near white to very dark. But just like among Judah, among the American Negroes, you know, we get very dark, but some of us are very light. So we don't judge according to the outward appearance, but if they can receive this word, that the white man is going into slavery, the so-called white man is going into slavery for the atrocities he's committed against us, a lot of people, they're not going to receive that. Right? This word is a rock of offense. And that's what we're going into right now, what should be done to the so-called white man for what's been done to us. Right? This is very offensive. A lot of people, you can talk about everybody except for the so-called white man. That's when they'll turn around and walk away. Why? Because he's empowered. Right? Get this in Job 9:24 real quick. Who controls the earth in this present time, in your opinion?
The devil.
He said the devil. Hey, that's a good answer. Revelations 2:10, Revelations 12:12. It says the devil is a man. Hey, but I asked the brother who's in control of the earth right now. He said the devil. And we're about to get into it real quick. Because in this present time, the earth has been given into the hand of a particular spirit, a particular race or group of people. But this was according to the Most High's determination, that they would have it for a time, for a period of time, but not forever. You know, you can bring what you got.
This is Job 9:25.
You start with 24.
Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof.
And he said the earth has been given into the hand of the wicked. Right? So as then you know, in this present time, who's in control of the earth? The wicked. You said the devil, right? Which is synonymous, you know, with the wicked, right? Bring this out one more time.
Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he?
Hey, and who are the judges of the earth? Because that's another word for angels, right? But the judges of the earth, we're the judges of the earth. But how did he cover the face of the judges thereof? Because it said when he had the earth in his hand, when it was given it to him, it said he covered the faces of the judges thereof, right? That's iconoclasm. You know, after the Renaissance, you know, at one point you had dark images all over the earth. But once the earth was given into the so-called white man after the Renaissance, that's when he started to erect images of himself all around the earth. That's why I said he covered the faces of the judges thereof, right? Because right now, the face of beauty, the Eurocentric standard is what beauty is. Blonde hair, blue eyes, right? Pale skin, everybody bleaching their skin, right? So that's to denote that the earth has been given into the hand of the wicked. He covers the faces of the judges thereof, right? And you know it's in his hand because people are not trying to subscribe to a Negro standard of beauty. You don't see the white woman walking around here with an afro on her head, putting in dark contacts to cover her blue eyes, getting nose broadening surgery. You know, you always had the tanning salons and things of that nature. But that's the so-called white woman. As far as the tribes, they all are trying to lighten up. Yeah, them a bleach, right? So hey, it said the earth has been given into the hand of the wicked. So right now, they control policies. They control laws, right? The so-called white man could say, it's legal for a man to lay with another man and y'all could get married, right? And that's the law of the land, right? So that's to denote that he's the one that's in power. The earth has been given into the hand of the wicked. But let's prove who the wicked is. Get this in Malachi 1:3. Because it said the earth has been given into the hand of the wicked. So we want to let you know that the Bible speaks of a wicked. Who is the wicked that the Bible speaks of? Because the preacher is not going to go into this. You know, the Bible speaks of a wicked. And look, the progenitor, the origin of this nation, he was wicked. So it's a people that are wicked. A people that even God hates is going to say that in the scriptures. Jacob have our love. But this...
I'm saying pagans, people that believe in Saturnology, like, it's a lot of wicked.
Anti-Hamashiach, yeah. Anything that's not sound doctrine is wicked. But who is the one that's promoting and pushing this doctrine throughout all the earth? The book of Revelations calls that his wine, getting the nations drunk. But you can bring out what you got, Malachi.
This is Malachi 1:3. And I hated Esau and led his mountains and his heritage to waste for the dragons of the wilderness. Whereas Edom said, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down. And they shall call them the border of wickedness.
The what?
The border of wickedness.
This is Psalm 17:13. So we're known as the city of peace, Jerusalem. Yarashalam is city of peace. That's who we are. Wherever we're at, like it says in Joel 2:27, the Lord dwells within us. He's amongst us. Where two or more combined, he's in the midst of our people. But it said that the so-called white man, he's known as the border of wickedness. Meaning wherever they're at, that's where you're going to find perversion, bestiality, homosexuality, theft, rape, robbery, right? That represents them as a people, the border of wickedness, right? You can bring out what you got.
This is Psalm 17.
You go 17:13.
Psalm 17:13. Arise, O Lord, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword.
Which is what?
Which is thy sword.
Hey, it said, preserve my soul, protect me from the wicked, which is thy sword. And that sword, what's the modern day sword? It is in Genesis 37:28. I mean 27:38. What's the modern day sword? No, the pistol, the gun, weaponry. You know, in ancient times, you know, it said, protect me from the wicked, which is your sword, right? So the Lord's sword, his whooping stick, is the wicked. That's who he set over us. While we're in captivity, if we get out of line, who does he use to spank us? The wicked. That's his sword, you know? And we want to prove that real quick. Go ahead and bring out what you got.
This is Genesis 27:38. And Esau said unto his father, hast thou one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above. And by thy sword shalt thou live.
By what?
By thy sword shalt thou live.
Hey, it said that when Esau went asking his father for a blessing, he gave him a blessing. And it said that the dew of heaven, bring this out one more time, Baba Kushak.
And Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me.
Hey, because Esau was supplanted for the birth. He sold his birthright and he was supplanted for the blessing. So at this point, he went to his father like, damn, I've been double crossed by my brother Jacob, which means supplanter, right? Give me a blessing. So this is the so-called white man's blessing in this time. Listen real close. Go ahead.
Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above. And by thy sword shalt thou live.
By thy what?
By thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him.
Hey, Obadiah 1:10, right? For thy violence against thy brother Jacob. And his gift was the fatness of the land, meaning he stay in the best remote places, private islands, hidden caves. I mean, land on land, right? He gets the best. He gets the most remote, the most secluded, isolated spot that we can't even go to. That was his blessing. Private, you know, Epstein Island. You know what I'm saying? And also the weapon to defend his stolen goods, right? Because it don't matter what you have if you can't defend it or protect it. Somebody could just come and take it from you. So it's the Most High determination that he not only is able to get all of this wealth through rape, robbery, terrorism, but he has a gun to defend everything that he's stolen until the Most High comes and, you know, gets him to vomit it up, as it says in Prophesy. Right? Get this in Numbers 35 and 33. We just want to prove real quick that for all the blood that has been shed, the Bible gives a prescription for it, right? Can you forgive the so-called white man for killing your granddaddy? Can you forgive the so-called white man for killing your great-granddaddy? Can you absolve the white man of any guilt for shedding your brother's blood? Right. That's right. But a lot of people, even though he raped, robbed all of their family, all of their ancestors, they'll say, we forgive the white man. No, that's not for you to forgive someone else's bloodshed. You know what I'm saying? That's like if somebody steals from me, you can't say you forgive them. I'm a victim here. You know, let the perpetrator know what's required. You know what I'm saying? But you see, that's what happens all the time in America and abroad. People always want to give the white man a pass for blood shed that's not theirs. Right? You can bring out what you got.
Numbers 35 and 33.
Go ahead.
So ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are.
Hey, it says ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are. Go ahead.
For blood it defileth the land.
Hey, this land is soaked and saturated with the blood of the saints. Our forefathers, our foremothers. They took one nation, they enslaved them. They committed genocide on another nation just to establish this place. The Native Americans, they wiped them out, right? Which a lot of us are Native Americans, as well as them bringing a number of us over here on boats to cultivate this land and build this land up, right? But on these plantations, in the process of taking this land over, hey, there were so many battles that they fought with the Native American Indians, right? Totally devoured them and conquered them, right? From sea to shining sea, bloodshed, Indian burial grounds, all around us. You might be standing on one right now, right? Bring this out one more time.
Numbers 35 and 33. So ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defileth the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that sheddeth.
Hey, so it said the blood defiled the land, and the land can't be cleansed of the blood except for the perpetrator, the person that shed the blood. His blood got to be shed. Bring this out one more time, Baba Kashan.
So ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defileth the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it.
Hey, this land is defiled. So the only way that this land can be cleansed is the person that sheds the blood. Their land, their blood it's called balance. Right? Get this in real quick. Ezekiel 25 and 12. Ezekiel 25 and 12. And we were talking about the wicked, which is Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, right? The wicked that the Bible speaks of. But the Bible is going to tell you exactly how he's going to be taken out of power. See, the Bible is the book that gives us understanding. And it's peace that comes with understanding. To not know is a very bad thing. This is why a lot of people are out of their wits, because they're ignorant. You know, but once you have the knowledge of what's going to happen and how it's going to happen, you can really just sit back with your legs crossed. Because as it plays out, while everyone else is running like a chicken with their head cut off, you are not naive. You are totally joined together with the prophets, with the men of understanding, the men of the Lord in judgment. Right? It said the wicked understand not judgment. Right? But we understand that, hey, a part of the Most High being just and balance being implemented is judgment being implemented on these people that have committed this atrocity. They won't just ride out into the sunset, right? a little nigga moment. You know.
Ezekiel 25:12.
Come.
Thus saith the Lord power, because that Edom have dealt against the house of Judah.
And he said, because Edom, the so-called white man, right? Esau is Edom. We brought that out in Genesis 36:8. Genesis 25:21 lets you know Esau was red and hairy, right? But bring this out one more time, Ezekiel 25:21. So like
Ezekiel 25:12.
Come.
Thus saith the Lord power, because that Edom have dealt against the house of Judah by taking vengeance, and have greatly offended, and revenged themselves upon them. Therefore, thus saith the Lord power, I will also stretch out my hand again upon Edom, and will cut off man and beast from it.
And he said he's going to stretch out his hand against Edom, the so-called white man, and bring them low. Right, go ahead.
And I will make it desolate from Teman, and they of Dedan shall fall by the sword. And I will lay my vengeance upon Edom.
And he's going to lay his vengeance on the so-called white man, on these Edomites. Go ahead.
By the hand of my people, Israel.
By the what?
By the hand of my people, Israel.
Hey, at a certain point, they say that in Isaiah 13. Everyone that can go home and leave America, they're going to go. And the only people that are going to be left here are on side A, the Edomites. On side B, you're going to have the Israelites. Right? Bring this out one more time.
And I will lay my vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people Israel. And they shall do in Edom according to mine anger and according to my fury.
Hey, it said that we're going to do to the white man. We're going to do to Edom, not according to our anger, right? Because we can't be mad enough. A lot of us never had to be whipped on our back. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us never had to go pick cotton. A lot of us never saw our wives being raped or sold off. So a lot of us, we are not mad at this so-called white man, right? All of the atrocities that he's committed against us is sort of like ancient history to a majority of our people. Even though 1865, less than 100 years ago, we were in, well, less than 170 years ago, we were in slavery. But when people speak about slavery, they act like it's thousands of years ago. 1865 up until now. But the point I'm trying to make is a lot of our people are not upset with the white man, right? In this post-racial society, they've been raised around Esau's technology, integration, the schools and the churches and the workplace is integrated. Everything is not segregated. You know, we look on the television, you see white people with black people. You look on television, you always see white people as the superheroes. They're always smiling. They always look clean. So a lot of our people, they are not mad at the white man. This is why Ezekiel 25:12 said that he's going to pay them back, not according to our anger. Because a lot of our people, they're not angry at the white man. And the ones that are angry at him, there's no way they could be angry enough. Because a lot of what he's been done to us is outside of our memory, right? We watch Alex Haley Roots, right? We watch certain movies that chronicle what happened to us, like the slave trade. But the depths and the gravity of the things that we had to go through, we don't know, right? Doing surgeries on our women without anesthesia, cutting a woman's womb open and stomping the baby. What movie have you seen with that type of atrocities, right? But this is what the Most High knows, right? Feeding our babies to alligators, have you ever seen that? No. But if you saw that, that will make our hatred more perfected against these people. Because their children, they are just an extension of their fathers, right? Given certain circumstances that they will be put in, the lack of bread, joblessness, they're gonna rear their horns the same way that their forefathers did, right? But bring this out in Ezekiel 25:12 one more time about the Most High repaying these nations that hate us according to his anger, because we not mad enough. No way we could be mad enough. The Most High is gonna have to put it in our minds what's been done to us. He's gonna have to pour his spirit on us to execute the judgments that are written, right? You can bring this out, Salaki.
Ezekiel 25:12.
Come.
Thus saith the Lord power, because that Edom have dealt against the house of Judah by taking vengeance, and have greatly offended, and revenged himself upon them. Therefore, thus saith the Lord power, I will also stretch out my hand upon Edom, and will cut off man and beast from it. And I will make it desolate from Teman, and they of Dedan shall fall by the sword. And I will lay my vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people Israel.
By the what?
By the hand of my people Israel.
Go ahead.
And they shall do in Edom according to mine anger and according to my fury. And they shall know my vengeance, saith the Lord power.
And it said that we're going to do to the white man according to God's anger and according to his fury. Get this in Zechariah 9 and 12, because, hey, it said that he's not mocked. We brought that out in Galatians 6 and 7. Whatever a man sows, that's what he's going to have to reap. Otherwise, God is not just, right? If you commit a crime, you go to the court and they execute what on you? Justice, right? They might tell you 30 days. You know what I'm saying? They might send you up the road. They might give you the death penalty. But they execute judgment when we go into those places, right? If you break a law, you got to go before a white man in a black robe, and you got to call him your honor. In hope, throw yourself at the mercy of the court, in hope that he give you a light sentence, right? But just like the so-called white man, he's a man. He's a creature. He's not God, right? So he's going to be judged as well. Right? It said, who the God of this world has blinded the minds of them that believe in 2 Corinthians 4 and 3. Right. So he is a God, a lowercase g God, but he's not the most high God. So he's going to be dragged into court, and he's going to be sentenced as well, the so-called white man. What you got?
This is Zechariah 9 and 12.
Come.
Turn you to the stronghold, ye prisoners of hope. Even today do I declare that I will render double unto thee.
He will what?
I will render double unto thee.
Hey, so for all of the atrocities that the so-called white man's committed against us, if he gave us one lash on the back on the plantation to make it right, he's going to have to take two. Double, right? We were in captivity for 500 years. He's going to have to go for 1,000 years, right? That's the prescription. Go ahead.
When I have bent Judah for me.
Let's start from the top, Bible Shop.
Zechariah 9 and 12. Turn you to the stronghold, ye prisoners of hope.
Ye what?
Ye prisoners of hope.
Just like right now, that's all we could give you. If you observe these laws, statutes, and commandments, we could give you the hope of salvation. We can't give you bologna sandwiches. We can't give you no promises. We can just tell you through faith and observance of these laws, statutes, and commandments, you have the hope of making it through this upcoming destruction here in America. Right? So that's what we give our people, hope through observance of this word. Go ahead.
Turn you to the stronghold, ye prisoners of hope. Even today do I declare that I will render double unto thee. When I have bent Judah for me, filled the bow with Ephraim, and raised up thy sons, O Zion, against thy sons, O Greece, and made thee as the sword of a mighty man.
Hey, he said he's going to raise up the sons of Zion against the sons of Greece. Because these are the modern day Greco-Roman Empire, the white people. The same white people that are in power now, they are the descendants of the people in ancient Rome and ancient Greece. Right? So it's letting you know that the sons of Zion, that's so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, are going to go head up against the sons of Greece. We brought that out as well in the last precept in Ezekiel 25. It said the sons of Edom against the sons of Israel, or in Ezekiel 25 and 12. Right, so it's letting you know explicitly how it's going to play out. Get this in Revelations 18 and 6, because it said pay her double. Right, because the so-called white man, the Bible, I mean, it's a mystery book, but it tells you prophecy. That word prophecy simply means prophecy means to say before. So before something happens, the Lord sends out his prophets to give the people warning. It says that in Ezekiel 3 and 17, to give y'all warning as to what's going to happen according to prophecy, so y'all could be saved. Because they're going to plan on chipping the people. They're going to plan, it's going to be a great famine where people are not going to be able to get food. It's going to be race wars, joblessness, right? So before these things happen, we want to warn the people to let y'all know what's required so y'all can obtain salvation, the hope of salvation, right? You can find what you got.
Revelations 18:6. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her, reward her, and double unto her, double according to her works. In the cup she shall have filled, fill her double.
Fill her what?
Fill her double.
Hey, this is talking about Babylon, because the Bible, America is known by many mystery names. From Mystery Sodom, Mystery Babylon, and Mystery Egypt. America is not in the Bible. But in Revelation, the 18th chapter, saying reward her, right? Just like America is known as a woman, Babylon, reward her, even as she reward you. But it's saying double, right? Because America is known as Babylon the Great, spiritual Sodom, spiritual Egypt. But in Revelation 18, America is referred to as Babylon the Great. Right, start from Revelation 18:6. One more time, Baba Kushal.
Okay. Revelations 18:6. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her, double according to her works. In the cup which she hath filled, fill her double.
Hey, fill her double, right? Because we just brought out in Zechariah 9:12, she's gonna have to get back double, right? All of the bloodshed, but double. This is why bodies are gonna be laid upon the streets of this place like dung, to make up for all of the atrocities and the bloodshed that is brought against us. America was established through violence, right? So America is going to be taken down the same way, great violence, right? You can go ahead.
For her sins, Revelations 18:6, reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her, double according to her works. In the cup she hath filled, fill her to her double. How much she hath glorified herself and lived deliciously. So much torment and sorrow give her, for she saith in her heart, I sit a queen, and I am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. Therefore her plagues come in one day, death, mourning, and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire. For strong is the Lord power who judgeth her.
And it said that she shall be burned with fire. That's that thermonuclear annihilation. But it says strong is the Lord that judgeth her. Right? Get this in Psalms 137:7. So the Bible, like I said, when you go into church, they are what you call 501c3, tax exempt organizations. So one thing about them taking an oath with the state, they can't really go into Bible prophecy. They have to be taught a curriculum that they got to teach their parishioners. They can't really go into judgment. They can't really go into prophecy. They can't really go into the lamentations, mourning, and woe, the blood and the guts, right? Because they have been set up by the very Edomite that we're prophesying against. This is who they get their daily bread from. This is who buttered their biscuits. So these pastors, as the sign calls them, greedy dogs, they'll never go into prophecy as it pertains to the downfall of America, the recompense of the Israelites. But this is what we're doing right now, right? It says in Proverbs 1:20 that wisdom shall be found in the streets, right? Matthew 22:9, the Lord demands us to go into the highways and hedges. Why? Because this is where the loss of our people at, right? The majority of our people, when they think of the Bible, they think of churches, right? So they go into church to get the understanding, but those men in those churches, the Most High is not dealing with them, and He dwells not in buildings made with hands. But those men that you see on the highways, in the middle of the streets with the Bibles, those are the Lord's true servants. Why? Because faith without works is dead. Romans 12 tells us that we present our bodies as a living sacrifice. We don't make a sacrifice to the Levitical priesthood in this time. But as a show of what we believe, we come out here, right? Why? Because faith without works is dead. We say we believe, but we really have to come out here and put our belief in actions to, obtain salvation, to show that we believe in this word. Those pastors, it tells them to come out to the highways and hedges to prophesy against the white man. But they're not going to do it because the Most High has not sent them. They are just about fattening up their pockets and taking it to their own quarters. This is why Isaiah 56:9 calls them greedy dogs. Right? The Most High is not dwelling or dealing with those pastors. You can bring out what you got, brother.
This is Psalms 137:7.
Pertaining to Edom. Go ahead.
Remember, O Lord, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, even to the foundation thereof.
Hey, they call us words like blacks, African American, Negroes. That's not our true nationality. That's not our true identity. Here in Psalms 137, it said that the so-called white man, these Edomites, they said, raise it. Meaning when we were in our own land, before we were conquered and we started calling ourselves by proverbs and bywords and misnomers that don't identify us with our forefathers or our land, it said that when we were in our land, they were saying, destroy that land, get them out the land, right? Because although a lot of our people were in the interiors of America before the white man, our homeland is in Jerusalem. It says that in Galatians 4:26, Jerusalem is the mother of us all. That's our motherland, that's our homeland. But when we were in our homeland, Psalms 137:7, the so-called white man, he was pursuing us when we were on the other side of the earth, right? When we were being sacked by the Romans and we were going and fleeing into Africa, guess what? They were trying to destroy our land, and they actually accomplished that because we went off and it was the Most High determination. But the children of the so-called white man in that race, they've always been against us. And an example is what the brother's about to read once more, Psalms 137:7.
Psalms 137:7. Remember, O Lord, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, even to the foundation thereof.
Hey, they said destroy them as a people. Go ahead.
O daughter of Babylon, who art thou to be destroyed, happy shall he be that rewardeth thee as thou hast served us.
Hey, it said, happy shall we be, right? It said it's a righteous thing with the Most High to recompense tribulation to them that trouble you. We brought that out in Sirach 25:7, right? But here, bring this out one more time.
O daughter of Babylon, who art thou to be destroyed.
Hey, the so-called white man, right? Because we understand that Babylon is a spiritual dwelling place to the so-called white man. But at the beginning it said Edom, right? That was the audience that was being addressed at the beginning of Psalms 137:7, right? But it said, happy shall ye be, right? Go ahead.
O daughter of Babylon, who art to be destroyed, happy shall he be that rewardeth thee as thou hast served us. Happy shall he be that taketh and dasheth thy little ones against the stones.
Hey, it said, happy shall we be to reward them double, right? Get this in Isaiah 13:14. And it said, happy shall we be to dash their little ones against the stones. Why? Because this was done to us, right? Having our little ones bashed, they grab by their ankles and they smash them in the stones, bash their brains out. This is what was done unto us, right? So like I said, this is what we've never saw. We heard about it, but this is the Most High's fury. This is the Most High's anger that he's going to pour on us to recompense double unto them for what they've done to us, right? Will you bring out what you got?
Isaiah 13:14.
Come.
And it shall be as the chased roe, and as a sheep that no man taketh up. They shall every man turn to his own people, and flee everyone to his own land.
Hey, because we brought out in Ezekiel, I said if someone is in this country and they got somewhere to go, they're going to leave once the affliction begins to kick up for the white man. Once famine, race wars, joblessness, all of the problems that are bringing this place down, once they begin to kick up, if someone can go home, they're going to go home to escape the tribulation. Go ahead.
Everyone that is found shall be thrust through.
Hey, it said every one of the so-called white men, because at this time, start from the top one more time, Baba Kashab.
Isaiah 13:14. And it shall be as the chased roe, and as a sheep that no man taketh up.
Hey, and this is talking about Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. It said they're going to be as a chased roe. A roe is a female deer. A roe is a deer?
Yeah.
right? But it said it's gonna be like a chased deer that nobody want to give safety to. So just imagine in this present time, the white man, even if he go to jail, people will give him a bunk or they'll give him support because they feel like he's gonna have some type of benefits, be it money or something. So people will help him out quicker than they'll help us out. But it's gonna be a time when people see him and their flesh is gonna be an indicator that you're the hunted. People are gonna be hunting him. He's gonna be like a chase roe, right? Go ahead, bring something.
And it shall be as the chased roe, and as a sheep that no man taketh up.
Hey, and the sheep doesn't have any natural defenses. He's gonna be totally defenseless, right? And no one is gonna help him. Go ahead.
They shall every man turn to his own people, and flee every one to his own land.
So America is known as a melting pot. Before the white man gets his judgment, this melting pot is gonna be stripped down to the Lord's people against Esau and his minions. Go ahead.
And everyone shall flee to his own land. Everyone that is found shall be thrust through. And everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword.
Hey, it said if you are joined to the so-called white man, you're gonna fall by the sword. It said every one of them, they're gonna be thrust through. But it's a lot of people out here that love the white man. They want to join his hand. Get this in Proverbs 11 and 21 real quick. It's saying that, hey, even to those people that want to join him, y'all want to go down with the white man. That's exactly what's going to happen. He on the Titanic, and as the ship is sinking, the white man over there playing his instruments. But guess what? A lot of our people, if it's a heaven that the white man can't get in, they don't want to go. They'll rather suffer the same fate as their oppressor. Right? You around what you got?
Proverbs 11 and 21. Though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not be unpunished.
The what?
The wicked shall not be unpunished.
So it said, though hand join in hand. Even though a majority of our people, if you are found next to the so-called white man, it's saying that you're going to be thrust through as well in Isaiah 14. Right? Bring that out and with Isaiah 13 and 14. You can start with Isaiah 13 and 15. Though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not go unpunished. And we brought out who the wicked was in the book of Malachi, Romans 9 and 8. The wicked is Esau, Edom, right? Because the Bible actually has a classification of men. You have the sons of God, sons of men, and also the sons of the wicked on this earth. Everyone is not the same. Go ahead.
Isaiah 13 and 15.
Go on.
Everyone that is found shall be thrust through, and everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword. Their children also shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes.
They said their children shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes. This is what's happened to us. Having to see our children given to an alligator. Just imagine that visual. You know what I'm saying? The baby crawling on the beach, and here you see an alligator or a crocodile come up and just devour the little baby. Right? Get this in Jeremiah 30 and 16. Right? So this is just a small glimpse of why the church was set up to do what? Keep our people docile and submissive, right? Because how can you say you love your people and you will totally forget about all these atrocities? And then not only forget about the atrocities, you join to the very children of the people that have committed these atrocities against you. You have to be insane. We wouldn't expect this of the Jews and the Holocaust, you know what I'm saying? And the worst Holocaust that's ever been happened in human history has been done to us. But you wouldn't know that based upon the behavior of our people towards the dominant society that has afflicted us, that has castrated us, terrorized us. Our people love it. But this is why Sirach 12 and 10 says, never trust your enemy. Right? We might touch on that as well. You bring this out, Jeremiah 30 and 16.
Jeremiah 30 and 16.
Right. I just took that to the heart. It's never trust your enemy.
Right?
Can't.
Hey, bring this out.
But as soon as you get
you can finish that first.
leeway, that's how they work. They gonna take advantage of you every time.
Hey, get this in Sirach 12 and 10 for the
Family,
brother.
friends, people, not everybody. Everybody not evil. Family and friends, but
Hold on, no.
can't show no love to the
There are evil, wicked niggas in your family.
Nah, I know, but not everybody. But
Oh, yeah, of course.
as far as the enemy, no.
Right.
No, can't trust me.
Hey, from the
Never
ruler
can.
to the tutor, from Genesis to Revelations, your best bet is to, deal with them according to wisdom. we're not saying that you have to go to war with your enemy. The scriptures tell us, if possible, live peaceably with all men, including the white man, including the Arab, until the Most High pours his fury on all. He said he's going to repay them according to his anger and according to his fury. So the conditions in this society, the Most High is going to change them to bring out that righteous indignation out of us, and also bring that wickedness out of the so-called white man. The scriptures say, can a leopard change his spots? You know, but a lot of people think that white man, you know, he's different from his forefathers, as if that leopard can change his spots, right? You can bring out what you got.
Sirach 12 and 10.
Okay.
Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness.
And give him the breakdown on rust and how you wipe it away.
So, you know, anytime you have iron, you know, you leave it out in the elements. Rain hit it, it starts to grow rust over it.
Like a bite.
Oxidize it.
Oxidize.
So, you know, you wipe off the rust. If you still leave it out there, the rust is gonna come right back. Okay? So the same thing with the white man. You know, you see him walking around here, he's nice to you, smiling, you know, but always remember, he did these atrocities to your forefathers. And he ain't got no problem doing it to you, because you are your forefathers, right? You came from your grandfather, your great-grandfather, your father, okay? You are them, the same descendant, okay? So he look at you the same, okay? So you can't never trust him, because guess what? Our people are still being gunned down in the streets with no justice, all right? It's the same thing, okay? Now he just pull out a badge instead of that whip. He got the authority now, okay, according to the law, to gun you down. Same difference.
Straight up.
Okay? So you can't never trust him. Okay? You put poison in your food. Okay? While you standing here breathing the air, he spreads this poison in the air so you can breathe it. Okay? Give you that cancer. Okay? He'll tell, give your woman a chance to go ahead and abort your son.
Woo!
Okay? He put the abortion clinics in your neighborhood. Okay? Along with the drugs, the guns, so you can kill your brothers and your sisters. Yeah, he ain't got no mercy for you. None at all. He don't care. Okay? He wants to see every last one of us dead, according to the scriptures. The scriptures tell you. Okay? He hates us.
That's right.
He don't have no mercy for you. So you not to love him. Don't follow his ways.
And that's the white man, woman, and child. Because a lot of times people will try to separate that white woman from the white man. When she was the one on the plantations that was,
that's right,
you know, putting the most terror on us.
Right.
You know? So the scripture said, never trust thy enemy. Right? You could go ahead with that. Sirach 12 and 10.
I'll read it again for you. Ecclesiastic, Sirach 12 and 10 says, never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Though he humbleth himself and go crouching, yet take heed and beware of him. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust have not all been together wiped away. Okay? So when you in the bathroom, you know, it steams up, okay? You look in the mirror, it has steam on it. You can't hardly see yourself, right? You wipe it. What happens a couple of seconds later?
It fall right up again.
The steam come right back up. See what I'm saying? So it's never, you can't get rid of that altogether. It just keeps showing up.
That's right.
Same thing with his hatred towards you.
Perpetual.
Okay? When you leave this earth and you have sons and daughters, guess what? He gonna hate them too. When they have children, he gonna hate them too. And it's gonna keep on going. So you never supposed to trust him. And that's just not me saying that. That's the Lord telling you that. Okay?
Hey,
Who put the gun in your hand? in our people's hands. We ain't make no guns. The scripture tell you the Lord gave him the gun, blessed him with the gun. That's his sword. That's how he achieved all his wealth.
Yep.
And that's how he protects you.
Yep.
Okay? The reason why you don't just go busting white people in their head, because you know police come and gun you down.
Right.
So that keeps you in your place.
They say the powers are not a terror to good works in Romans 13.
That's right. Think about that.
That's right.
Otherwise, what's stopping us from going to their homes and dragging them out and doing what we want?
That's right.
Because we know there's consequences.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Continue reading and edifying.
But when I kept, but this goes back to like, now you see what I'm saying? It's like, you can say the government, but I just call them evil people. How can the evil be doing all the crime, like you said, with drugs, rape, stealing? They do it on a bigger corporate level.
Who runs?
People that do it small, they try to judge them. They don't make sense.
Yeah.
That's why I feel where you coming from.
And when you're dealing with the government, the Zionists, they control the electoral college, because the Congress and the Senate is controlled by the Zionists. So when you're dealing with the government is a compound word. Government means ruling, ment is the mind. The people that create the laws, the legislation, are not just white men. That's the elite. You know, that pass legislation that same sexes could be married. They'll lower the age of consent to try to make it easy for these pedophiles to go and do their thing out here in the earth. So even when we're dealing with the government, we got to understand those are the people that call themselves Jews and are not. Those people that say that they are who we are, the Lord's chosen people. They are the ones that are truly in charge of the monetary systems, right? The central banks, the school's curriculum, the media, porn, sports, education. They control all of those industries, even the diamond industries and things of that nature, right? The Jews, they known for running shit, for not being poor, right? Have you been to New York before?
No.
Well, in New York, they have their own hospitals, they have their own schools, they have their own neighborhoods, right? They subscribe to the religion of Judaism. The Talmud and the Kabbalah are the books that they use to get their wisdom. They don't even look to the Bible, but that's who truly runs the government. Because even the Ku Klux Klan, they say they hate the Jews. But it's like, ain't both of y'all white? Amongst white people, there are different tribes. There are different groups as well, just like we're Israelites, but we're different tribes from the Hispanics, right? The Mexicans. We're Israelites, but we're different tribes from the Puerto Ricans, right? The same thing with white people, right? Their nation is Edom, but among their nation, they have tribes. Amalek is a tribe of the Edomites that are the most powerful at this time. The Bible calls them the synagogue of Satan. Right, hold this real quick in Revelation 2.
You know, I'm a deep psychic person. That kind of deep. I like how you said Edom. Okay, hey, this the land of the freedom. Like maybe they just threw, it's free for Edom. But it's the land of the Edom, freedom. It's their land. In their eyes, I kind of like that.
You say you can't spell freedom without Edom.
Yeah.
Because the earth has been given into the hand of the wicked. It's their time to rule. So this is their freedom. This is, we are waiting for the kingdom to come. This is their kingdom. So what they need to do is commit all of the devilishment they can. Smoke crack, have sex with German shepherds, rape, rob, murder, because this is the time that the Most High ordained for them to, exercise their wickedness in the earth, for the lack of a better word. You can bring out what you got, Revelation 2 and 9.
This is Revelations 2 and 9.
Come.
I know thy works in tribulation, in poverty, but thou art rich. And I know the blasphemy of them that which say they are Jews and are not.
The Bible said it know the blasphemy. Something that's blasphemy is like a lie that God hates. It said, I know the blasphemy of them that call themselves Jews and are not. Who's in the earth right now call themselves Jewish? Right? Not us. We calling ourselves Israelites from our respective tribes. Judah is a tribe, but we don't call ourselves Jewish. We call ourselves Jews for short. But who's calling themselves Jews and are not? Bring this out from the top one more time, Baba Kashaf.
Revelations 2 and 9. I know thy works in tribulation, in poverty, but thou art rich.
Thou art what?
Thou art rich.
Hey, because we have the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of the scriptures. We know that we're the Lord's chosen people. Go ahead.
And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not.
And are what?
And are not.
Go ahead.
But are the synagogue of Satan.
Hey, because we don't worship in synagogues. We worship in the Baptist church.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? In the old rundown shack. But who worships in synagogues? Right? Where they go to their rabbis. You know? Those are the people that call themselves Jewish. Right? And that word synagogue means chief house. And the chief house of the nation of Edom is Amalek. Right? Even the clan hates that